everybody. Welcome back for another deep dive.
Today we're going to be tackling something that might not sound super exciting at first,
Yeah.
but stick with us because this is important stuff.
I'm intrigued.
We're talking about the financial side of clinical trials and specifically how to manage all those contracts and payments for all the different vendors you got to work with.
Oh, yeah, that can definitely be a headache.
It can be a huge headache.
And, we found this really interesting article from the Global Costing Task Force, and they lay out a really cool approach that honestly could be a game changer.
All right, lay it on me.
So picture this, right?
Okay.
You're running a clinical trial.
Yep.
And you've got, a lab, you've got your CRO, maybe a patient recruitment agency.
Right, all the usual suspects. That's a lot of different contracts, different payment terms, different reporting requirements. It's just a lot to keep track of.
And, in the real world, it's easy for things to get messy.
Oh, absolutely.
Contracts end up all over the place, invoices pile up, and suddenly you're drowning in paperwork.
Yeah, and it's not just the headache of staying organized.
Right.
There's a real risk there when it comes to compliance.
Absolutely. You miss a deadline or a payment gets lost in the shuffle, you could be in serious trouble.
Exactly. So the article talks about this idea of a ringmaster for your contracts, and I love that analogy.
Yeah, I can see that.
So how does that actually work?
Well, you know how a ringmaster keeps all the acts in a circus running smoothly, right? Making sure everyone's where they need to be and the show goes on without a hitch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with centralizing all your contracts and payments for the clinical trial.
So you're saying instead of this, three-ring circus of paperwork,
Exactly.
you have one central hub.
You got it.
But I gotta ask, what are the real tangible benefits here?
Okay, well, first off, you got to think about efficiency.
Yeah.
Instead of spending hours hunting down invoices or digging through files for some contract detail, everything's right there in one system.
Right at your fingertips.
Exactly. And that frees up your team to focus on the bigger picture.
So they can spend more time actually analyzing budgets and forecasting costs and less time, putting out fires.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
I like that, proactive, not reactive. Okay. So we've got the efficiency angle, but what about the financial control?
Oh, that's huge.
When you have all your financial data in one place, you get a much clearer picture of what's going on.
You can see the whole financial landscape of the trial.
Exactly. You can track spending patterns, compare actual costs to your budget in real time.
You can make those data-driven decisions about where the money's going.
Right, and that can lead to some serious cost savings.
Which I'm sure everybody loves.
Absolutely. Everyone wins with that.
It's like having that financial dashboard for your entire trial.
That's a great way to put it.
Speaking of dashboards, though, what about compliance?
Okay, so that's another area where centralization really shines.
Compliance is all about the details, right? Making sure you hit those deadlines, you're following the contract terms, and you're documenting everything properly.
Yeah, and that can be really tough when you have contracts and invoices scattered everywhere.
It's a recipe for disaster.
But with a centralized system, you've got automated alerts that tell you when deadlines are coming up. You've got checks and balances to make sure payments go out on time. And you have a clear audit trail for every transaction.
So it's like having a built-in compliance officer.
Exactly. It takes a lot of the guesswork and stress out of it.
I can see how that would give a clinical trial manager some serious peace of mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you've sold me on the benefits of centralization.
But I do have one concern.
Okay, what's that?
Wouldn't having everything in one system like that make it kind of rigid?
Okay, I hear you.
What if you have vendors with unique requirements?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
But the good news is these modern systems are built to be flexible. You can customize templates to reflect the specific terms of each contract. You can set up different levels of access for different users, and you can even integrate with other systems you're already using.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Not at all. It's about finding that balance between standardization and flexibility.
You still want to streamline things, but you don't want to create unnecessary roadblocks.
Exactly.
This has been seriously eye-opening.
I mean, who knew that something as mundane as contracts and payments could have such a big impact on a clinical trial?
It's all connected in the end.
It really is. So for our listeners out there who might be wrestling with these same challenges,
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Imagine you have a magic wand.
And you could design your ideal system for managing all those vendor contracts and payments.
What would that look like?
What features would make your life easier, improve compliance, and give you that ultimate financial control?
Take some time to think about it.
This deep dive has given you the building blocks.
Now it's time to design your masterpiece.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of clinical trial financial management.
Until next time.